Great shot.
That was supposed to be a warning shot.
In that case, not so good.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the times the House of Mouse stumbled, covering everything from box office flops to its problematic past.
Think they're waiting for me?
They ain't passing the time of day.
Number 10. Betraying Robin Williams. Genie from Disney's Aladdin is iconic, thanks to Robin Williams' remarkable voice performance.
As some are calling me, try all of calling me. I'm in the mood to help you, dude. You ain't never had a friend like me.
Remembered for his warmth, humor, and charitable work, Williams was deeply committed to giving back, from supporting the unhoused to performing for troops overseas. So perhaps it's no surprise that he reportedly accepted a reduced salary for the Genie role. He simply asked that his voice not be used for merchandising, and to only be featured in 25% of ads, maximum, fearing commercial exploitation. Disney broke the first part of the agreement, leading to a fallout.
Fine, I understand. After all, you've lied to everyone else. Hey, I was beginning to feel left out. Now, if you'll excuse me, Master.
Williams was understandably mad, only returning to the franchise for Aladdin and the King of Thieves once he had received an apology. During the interim, Dan Castellaneta, known for his work on The Simpsons, replaced him.
I can still do this! Whoa! Hate to lose face in front of you guys. Give me another chance.
Number 9. The Fall of LucasArts.
I have no further use for you, old man.
We know George Lucas as the mastermind behind the Star Wars franchise. In 1982, he founded Lucasfilm Games, a division of Lucasfilm, to develop video games.
One is not going to wipe out the other. They will coexist. People will always want to have a story told to them. And they will like to play games where you don't know the outcome and where you have some control over the outcome.
Renamed LucasArts in 1990, they developed beloved projects like the Star Wars Jedi Knight series, The Secret of Monkey Island, and Grim Fandango. However, Disney's 2012 acquisition of the company ended all in-progress development and led to the dismissal of most staff, dealing a significant blow to the community. The loss of these games, especially the highly anticipated Star Wars 1313, led to disappointment many still feel today.
With the amount of detail that's gone into making this world, we really have only just scratched the surface, and there is going to be a lot more to hear about it in the future.
Number 8. Hurling Lemmings Off a Cliff.
In this land of many mysteries, it's a strange fact that the largest legends seem to collect around the smallest creatures. One of these is a mousy little rodent called the lemming. Here's an actual living legend.
In 1958, Disney added a documentary called White Wilderness to its true life adventure films. It's ironic, considering the company faked part of the product.
So they became more scripted ahead of time?
They were much more scripted ahead of time. They'd often, I worked with Hibby until the early 60s.
To create compelling footage, filmmakers threw lemmings off a cliff, basically implying this was a natural behavior amid migration season. The animal cruelty was terrible enough, but the doc also spread misinformation, causing viewers to believe that lemmings have such instincts and mindlessly follow their herd. In fact, many still think this is true. In reality, while the animals do exhibit group behavior, especially during migration, they also have individuality, like in the Lemmings games.
Pardon me, sir. Have you seen a lemming wearing a locket?
Nope, our lemmings don't wear jewelry, just fur coats.
Number 7. Creating a formidable competitor in Don Bluth. Animator Don Bluth joined Disney in the 1970s, contributing to beloved classics like Robin Hood and The Fox and the Hound. Unhappy with the company's business direction and creative limitations, he left in 1979, taking a number of animators with him to start Don Bluth Productions.
Courage of the heart is very rare. The stone has a power when it's there.
Seeking more artistic freedom and higher standards, Bluth's new studio notably produced The Secret of Nim. He later founded Sullivan Bluth Studios, creating hits like An American Tail and The Land Before Time. Then, at Fox Animation Studios, he delivered the popular Anastasia.
Tell yourself it's easy, and it's true. You can learn to do it.
Nothing to it.
Those 3 films were incredibly successful, sparking renewed interest in quality hand-drawn animation from studios other than Disney. These films collectively made Bluth a fierce competitor to his once employer.
Oh, Tony, isn't it grand? Say, I don't hear no
no one thanking me here. Oh, yeah.
Number 6. Disney Plus releases and charging extra for premiere access. Disney Plus made waves when it launched, providing a vast library of content at a relatively affordable price. However, early in the COVID-19 pandemic, the company introduced a controversial premiere access model.
It's kind of like the movies premiering in the comfort of your home. Now, you can be among the first to see it.
Subscribers had to pay an additional fee, about $30, to watch new releases like Mulan and Raya and the Last Dragon. To be clear, that's on top of their regular subscription.
I still have a big chunk of it, though.
Is that supposed to make me feel better? If you lost a puppy and I said, well, we still have a big chunk of it, would that make you feel better?
Naturally, many felt this move was a blatant cash grab during a challenging time, to say the least. While customers were already paying for the streaming service, the high rate for movies led to significant backlash and calls for more consumer-friendly practices.
My money, Frank. My contante. Where is it?
Oh, you mean this money? It's all here. I just need this so I could finally eat this week. The rest, éparté.
Number 5. The direct-to-video sequel era.
I am all-powerful.
So all-powerful, you can't even get rid of the lowly street rat.
The Disney Renaissance, beginning in 1989 and ending a decade later, bears that name for a reason. This era revitalized the reputation and saw films considered among the Mouse House's best, like Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King, hit theaters. However, these movies' mediocre sequels were released on VHS and failed to reach the same classic status.
Okay, all right, okay. I don't think this is going to work. But I trust you. I just hope you know what you are doing.
Disney Toon Studios was founded in the 90s and typically handled the follow-ups, in addition to other films. It was a division of Walt Disney Animation Studios, but the end result was never as good. The projects also received a low budget compared to Disney's theatrical films, explaining the perceivable drop in quality.
I fell and I landed on the ice.
It's pretty slippery.
Number 4. The Lone Ranger. The Lone Ranger is a classic cowboy character who has seen several popular adaptations. Unfortunately for Disney, their take was far from one of them.
Yes. No. No. Yes. No. Yes. No, we are not. Yes. No. Yes.
Shut up!
The film, one of the company's biggest ever box office flops, apparently cost them between $160 and $190 million. It was criticized for Johnny Depp's portrayal of an indigenous character and for being flat-out boring, especially considering its extensive runtime.
Could be worse.
Worse. How could this be worse?
Could develop an itch on your nose.
Disney had hoped for a franchise expansion similar to the Pirates of the Caribbean films. There were even preliminary talks to bring in some form of attraction to the parks. However, those plans were swiftly abandoned, and it's doubtful Disney will return to the West soon.
Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
Don't ever do that again.
Number 3. Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser. Given its legions of devoted fans, you'd assume many would jump at the chance to stay at a Star Wars-themed hotel. Disney banked on this when they spent an estimated $400 million constructing the Galactic Starcruiser.
Look, this whole place is beautiful. I mean, come on. Why'd you hate it so much?
Look closer.
The price of at least roughly $6,000 for a family of 4 or $4,800 for 2 people, excluding Disney World tickets and travel costs, was too much for many considering hopping aboard. For those who did stay, the only option was a role-playing experience. Perhaps that was a dream for some, but it was surely inconvenient for others. Due to its limited audience, the Galactic Starcruiser ceased its voyage after slightly over a year.
Yeah, it seemed like all along Disney really had expected this hotel to keep costing over $5,000 and keep selling out. An unfathomable level of hubris, in my opinion.
Number 2. Song of the South.
Well, Rabbit, he push and he pull and he heave and he haul. He kick and he squeal and he blow and he blow. But the more he thrash around, the worse off he get. Till he's so stuck up he can scarcely move his eyeballs.
Song of the South, set on a post-slavery plantation, is one of Disney's most problematic films. Indeed, it has been condemned as, quote, one of Hollywood's most resiliently offensive racist texts, and as, quote, propaganda for white supremacy since its release. Its depiction of black characters and romanticized depictions of plantations has notably sparked significant backlash throughout the years.
Don't you know you can't run away from trouble?
Well, I'm glad there ain't gonna be no trouble.
There ain't no place that far.
Though rarely acknowledged now, the film inspired the Splash Mountain ride at Disney parks until recently. In response to ongoing criticism and calls for change, Disney decided to deliver a revamped version of the ride, rethemed around the princess and the frog. The updated Tiana's Bayou Adventure aims to celebrate diversity, with Tiana, Disney's first black princess, offering visitors a more inclusive and respectful experience.
So it's just a really great time for us to kind of feel like humanized and be a part of Tiana's life. Just very much everything so Tiana and so fun, all the way down to that finale with our party.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Olaf's Frozen Adventure. This not-so-short short that played before Coco was so poorly received that Disney pulled it in Mexico.
Then they caught fire and fell off a cliff. And then they caught fire again. And then a hawk took them.
Attempting to trademark Day of the Dead. Thankfully, Disney retracted their application following backlash.
Security! Are you there?
Superstar Limo. The ride was shuttered after less than a year.
Oh, that's gonna hurt. There's a woman that says...
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Disney's America. In the 1990s, Disney planned to spend $650 million on an American history-themed park in Virginia. However, the inclusion of things like a Civil War-themed area raised eyebrows. After all, when you think of the most magical place on Earth, slavery hardly comes to mind.
What the Disney Corporation plans to do is build a new city. They want to move in and destroy real history in order to create a facsimile, something synthetic, plastic.
Concerns arose about how Disney would handle these sensitive topics. In addition to public protests, the park faced numerous other obstacles, including financial worries after Euro Disney underperformed.
All of a sudden, the eggs start flying and the flour and...
Ultimately, the project was axed in 1994, and the 600 acres of land were put up for sale the following year. While history-themed areas like Frontierland remain, Disney largely prefers to keep its kingdoms magical these days.
Let's get out of here. Ow! Run! But what about Smith? He's a big lad. He can take care of himself.
Did we miss any other notable Disney train wrecks? Let us know in the comments.
Let me explain.
Let go!
No, I'm not letting you leave.
Look, don't do this.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.